One of the things that I do since I act is that when I have my cast there, and when we're filming, I'll stop and I'll be like, hold up, let me just show you how I want it. And that helps a lot of people because I'll say, let me read this line with this person so you can get a feel of how I want this character to be portrayed. And once I do that, that helps them a lot, you know. And sometimes on the cast, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but a couple of times I had 2 incidents when we're almost finished with the movie. And some of the actors at that point, they know that you need them to complete the movie, so they get this diva mode. And I had one person, it was the last day and we were filming and they switched up. They actually read another character's part. And I was like, oh, that wasn't your line. And it's like, well, that's okay. I think I did it better. And I was like, okay, you might have did it better, but that's not the way it was wrote. And he just kept going all off because it was the last day. And you know what I did? I said, guess what? You can go. We redid the whole script and put a whole nother actor in it. Every part that he was in, we went back and we filmed that part. We pulled somebody, and it was a rapper. He came in and he did his thing. May he rest in peace because he's not here. But he came in and he made that his character. And we shot all of them scenes in one day. And sometimes you, as a writer, director, filmmaker, you have to let some of these actors know, this is my vision. You know, I'm glad to have you, but I do not need you. You can be replaced.
You weren't playing. Y'all, this was back in the day. You didn't. All that film we had to get rid of.
Oh, no.
Boy, my heart started beating.
You see that happen in Hollywood, and then people are like, such and such got cut from the movie? What is going on?
Right, and that's what happened. Yeah, because
You still invite him to the premiere?
No, we didn't invite him to the premiere. And it was so funny because I don't even think he knew. He probably thought he was still in it. Because as an actor, you'd be like, they ain't gonna do that. You know what I mean? We
play with
that.
me if you want.
And that's, you know, and it was a movie. It was, and the movie's doing well. It's on Prime. You know, and everybody loved it. And
you had a dedicated cast.
Yeah, I had a dedicated cast
to come back
there.
Because I learned that to get your cast to come back, like it's very important when you're shooting. I learned for everybody to be on one accord because if you didn't get the right shot, we can't get people to come back the next day. We can't redo this. And I learned too, like when we're shooting, do those things that take the least time. Get them out the way, and that way you can kind of move into the bigger stuff.
The less people you have on set, the better. And learning, like, directing a few projects is like, a set is like being a manager. Like, you have to, like, try to focus on the craft of getting a shot, but making sure everybody is where they need to be. Everybody focused. The actor is focused. Everybody's here. Now you got people helping you, assistants and things like that, but just managing the set, because that's a big piece. It's managing the set. I mean, now granted, you have your cinematographers and your audio, so your sound, people that you can count on and be there for you, but being able to manage that set and keep people focused. And even going back to your point, I think another big thing is learning how to keep your actors in character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it takes a few minutes for us to, we got to break down. Or we gotta reset the lights, and it takes some time. So sometimes the characters, they start to get on their phone or start doing something, and it's like, okay, action, and like, hold on, you wasn't like that. We gotta get back into it, and kind of getting your actors, keeping them in character is like a big piece.
Exactly. Yeah.
I never had a problem with an actor like that, but I had a producer that towards the end of filming thought that she was bigger than me on my own movie.
Wow.
And so we have been working together for like 3 months, pre-production, filming for probably about 2 weeks, and we're getting down to our last day of shooting, and we created this whole schedule. It was all outdoors, and then it ended up being a lot colder than we expected. But everybody who signed on for the film knew we were going to do one outdoor cold day. That was part of it. We were all signed up for it. Comes around, she decides, oh, I'm canceling everything. I was like, what you mean you canceling? She's like, no, we're not doing this. This is too hard. This is too much. This is too long. It's too cold. I was like, look, everyone's getting paid. We are making this work. We are one day away from finishing. And she was like, well, I'm the producer. You're the director. You just make the art. And I was like, okay, well, I hired you. So I am the director, but I'm also the executive producer.
Make it clear.
So you do not have to be on this project if you don't want to finish it. and she left. She left the movie. She tried to take the rest of the crew and tell them not to come and show up.
My goodness.
But fortunately, I had built up enough, rapport with them that they're like, look, we're not gonna leave Cam out to dry like that.
Right.
One day left in the movie, and now the movie, it's a award-winning film and it's on Tubi.
That's awesome.
But it's like in my mind, I'm just like sometimes people really forget who's working for who
Yeah.
after a
Right.
while, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I've been making a lot of decisions, so no, I'm gonna step in and do this, and it's like, oh, hold on, like let's not forget
This
who
is
hired
right.
you.
Yeah.
Who's
Right.
writing the checks.
Exactly.
And,
exactly.
and film is not a film is the one thing you can't do alone.
No,
I was about to say.
Now, there's times when we wear many hats, of
Exactly.
course,
Right.
but you can't do it on your own. You can never forget that you need a team.
need
So
a
it's not a one-man show. One man cannot dictate, or one man cannot dictate what happens on the set. So it's like that type of mentality is one thing that I would love to rule out before I start a production. Like if I can be able to identify that in a place where it's like, okay, this individual, okay, they great at what they do, but if they're not able to work with others, then it won't work. Because if you have a great actor, but you have a maybe a cinematographer who wants to make the film a total different way, but that's not how we wrote it, that's
Yeah.
not how we rehearsed it, then it's detrimental to the project. So like, yeah, you're really good at what you do, but it ain't happening the way it's supposed to. So
And I think
That's the
the
big
thing
part.
for me is like I notice a lot of people don't have that work ethic.
Yeah.
Like they see movies as fun, exciting. Like I want to show up, put some stuff on my gram, say I was behind the scenes. But then you hit hour 6, 7.
That's
8.
what I was about to say.
And they
Have a
have
12-hour shoot
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
People
Right.
And that's what it was. Like when we was doing a couple hours, everyone was cool. We hit that 12-hour work day, and some of it's outdoors, some of it's inside. You're switching locations. Not everyone has that mental fortitude to keep going, and they're not connected to the vision.
Yeah. And I think a lot of, and especially if it's their first time acting on set, they might not understand. Because
That's what I was about to
I
say.
remember my first time acting on set. I did my part, but I didn't know I had to feed the other girl, so I was ready to go. And they was like, "Oh no," I was on Zeller's set, and he was like, "Oh no, you're not finished yet." And I'm like, "What?" And then I had these heels on, and I had to keep walking up and down the steps. And I'm looking like he need to learn his lines because I got on heels and I got to keep walking up and down the set. But you have to be prepared to, do what you had to do when you are on set. And I think it is some people out there that can be there a one-man show, a one-person show. And I will say this because, and Lee Zellers, he do everything. Everybody know that by him. He do everything himself. Camera work, editing, everything he does. So some people, that's what they do. That's their talent. That's what they do. Me, I'm a filmmaker, but I can't edit, and I'm not doing the camera work, so I can't be I can write, act, and direct, and produce, and do the locations and all of that. But that's it, and that's what I focus on. So yeah.
So keying in on that a little bit more, beside your point, what are some keys to building a good team?
That's a good question. That's tough. I would say with filmmaking, obviously there's some significant roles that you need. You got to shoot it, you got to capture audio, you need cast, you need the crew. Of course, before all that, you got to write it. So I think there's some elements to filmmaking that you got to have. And I think me as a filmmaker, I think being in Cincinnati, I think it's, I've had trouble finding the right people, and I think we have
In Cincinnati, we can talk about that.
I know. Now, again, I love my city, and I love I think first, let me say this. I would say Cincinnati is so much talent in the city,
It is.
and I don't think that's never been a question.
That's never the argument.
It's never the argument. It's working together.
Yes,
and
Exactly.
clearly we all are different. We all have a different approach, a different style, different vision. However, being able to work collectively is the struggle.
Exactly.
Now putting together a team, I think in some situations I've compromised in areas. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I had more money to get this person, but I got to settle with this person. I got to deal with this because of X, Y, Z. So I think it's been a compromise for me putting together a team. Now, budget and timing and different things like that. So for me personally, I think I've had to settle in some areas to get it done. But it's something I don't feel like I should do. And I don't think we should. With our art, we shouldn't settle. I think we should really take the time to find the people that we need. And I absolutely learned. I said, okay, I did this project, but moving forward, I'm going to really take the time to find the right individuals to make this vision. And another project may be different. Like, oh, this person may be good
for that,
but not this. So.
And I think that that's very important. We all have to know our strengths. You know, what is your niche? What is the genre that you're going to excel the most in? And be true to that. Don't try to say, you know, if you're not the writer, don't be the writer. Be the actor. Stay in your lane. And if everybody would stay in their lane, a whole bunch of it would be so much easier. I also want to say too, the picking the sides and the choosy.
Oh, and
there's a lot of that happening
here
in Cincinnati. We all have, like he said, we're different. We have visions and want to grow. Just because I'm working on your project doesn't mean I can't help you on your project. Right? And it shouldn't be, you know, you're doing this film now, my film about to be No, we're all telling our stories because our stories are worth being shared. But if you have a creative way to bring minds to this idea, you know, share it. We should be able to work together. But that's not what's taking place.
It's not here. It's like we're in like this gang war. You know, like I'm on the west side, I'm on the east side, and it shouldn't be like that. We should be able to come together, and I should be able to be like, "Oh, you do such good work." Like I was saying to you, "Oh, I've been wanting you in my one of my movies." I mean, we're supposed to be able to elevate each other because you see Detroit, they doing the thing out there, and Cincinnati, we have the same talent. You know, so we should be able to come together and get ourselves put on the map. So every time you turn on Tubi, it's Cincinnati, and not just Detroit. You know, so I think we got to come together.
What is it? What is that though?
Well, I'll say for me, being a transplant, like I don't get the whole Cincinnati fighting over films type of thing. Just being so the three cities I lived in before here were Chicago, LA, and Indianapolis, and I feel like they were all different in a way. Where Chicago and LA was everybody who was in film. They were in film. It was their full-time job. It wasn't like we were coming from other locations where I had to be considerate about your time, your 9 to 5. Whereas in Indianapolis, there was just no art. There was no heart for it. There was no film. There wasn't this pool of talent to like collaborate with. So when I came to Cincinnati and I saw all these other filmmakers, I was like, oh, you got movies? Can I show up on your set? Like I didn't tell them that I had made other movies in other cities. I didn't tell them that I was trying to get paid. I literally just wanted to be on set with other filmmakers and hold a camera, hold a microphone, be a humble person, collaborating. Then that ended up me leading to finding producers, other directors was like, oh, yo, why don't y'all come on my sets? And just started to organically build my own team here in Cincinnati. And now we've done 3 movies together, but like, I think that's what's really rare about this city is people see, oh, like you really making it happen. You're not just talking. I want to be a part of it. And a lot of cities, they'll try to like cut you down and be like, oh, you're not from here. Like, what makes you think you're going to make a movie about our city? Like, I have never experienced that here in Cincinnati.
I don't think Cincinnati is like that. I think Cincinnati is, especially if you're coming from a different city. I feel like what's weird is that
if you're from here, that's when you get the shade a little bit. When you're from here, that's when you get the shade.
Because how you qualified to talk about this hood or this area? You know, we get into all that. But I will like to say that I feel like marketing plays a crucial role with all of our films.
I think so. Absolutely.
Like, come on. We all dropping films, but when we drop them, where's the support? Because I'm really not on that. I don't care about, you know, you being the influencer in my movie. I care about you really loving your role here in this movie so much that you're really gonna go and talk about it. You want other people to see this film because it inspired you. That's what matters to me. But the issue that I'm facing is we just dropped a whole movie. Where was your marketing? Where was your post? Or you only did it for the week or 2 for the grand opening, but what happens after that?
Exactly.
Marketing is very important.
Very important.
When it comes to filming. We all are writing and we're doing that part, but we can't forget about that part.
Which is key.
It's the key.
That's how you say
it really is.